Hey everyone, thank you for being with me one more time. Thank you for clicking this video. Thank you for coming to the Brian T. Murray YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm just so y'all when I click on my stats and I'm tracking everything, look, it's not impressive. But I'm grateful to God for those who click these videos. I really do. I mean, folks that have made a profession out of this. This is kind of like therapeutic for me. Why is that? Because a man will live his whole life in his mind if someone that inspires him won't call him out of it. Okay? A man will live his whole life in his mind if someone who inspires him won't call him out of it. So, for me, those who inspire me is you. y'all inspire me. Why? Because if some of you I may never meet, but the fact that I get a chance to share my heart and share my persuasions and all. I just asked my buddy. I was like, can you tell that everything is brighter? And he was like, I can't see your face because of the head and hood. It's like, well, that's a part of the brain. my nieces don't ever recall ever seeing me without a hat. That is a part of the brain. That's cool. That's cool to give feedback. That's cool to give feedback. So yeah, you all inspire me because it is the idea that I can talk and I could just unbiasedly just talk and share my heart and share my persuasions and what God impressed upon me and everything, and I could just get out here and just do what I do, and it's like afterwards it's like, what did I say? So my father's subscribed to my YouTube channel, and number one, I'm still dealing with that process. Like, this is the first time ever my father has ever heard me speak. I mean, yeah, so that is crazy, and this is the platform that he's doing it on. It is when I'm letting loose and everything, and just being strong and courageous, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know who he's watching a lot of my old videos, and it's like I have no idea all the things I have said on those videos, so. That's how it is. I often think about when celebrities write books and like they're sharing details about themselves, which also means their family and their parents and everything and their upbringing, and like it got to be rough. It got to be rough. So, but you know, we are just grateful on this end to. You know, I'm just a huge advocate of it got to get to a point where someone tells you the truth. And I'm a huge advocate of it gets to the point where somebody has got to tell you the truth. Because everyone is not willing to do that. They will, instead of risking a connection or risking a friendship, they will just, you know, tell you whatever you want to hear. Oh, black queen, the Lord is going to send Boaz your way, or hey man, that is okay. You know, the gym ain't made for everybody. It's like, yo, the truth gotta be said, even if I'm not the example of it. The truth gotta be said. Okay, so this is what I like about this particular platform is that you could just tell the truth. You could tell the truth. That's important. So this is an encouragement session, but what I'm doing is I'm doing my year wrap up. As you know, this is my first year having a YouTube channel, so I wanted to talk about 2020 because this has been a year like no other. But I wanted to talk about it, but I wanted to talk about my 2020 because though it's a lot of things we have in common, my experiences aren't necessarily exactly like yours. So, you know, I think this is important in all. So, yeah. All right. So, we're talking about my 2020. So, January 2020. New Year's Eve of 2019, I'm dealing with I just purchased my second car, cash. And I'm at the DMV and I'm waiting in line 2 hours, two and a half hours. I get up to the front desk and they tell me the person who signed this title over to you didn't sign the back of it. And I was like, what? I was like, nah, we can't accept this. Whoever sold you this car, they need to sign the back of the title. And of course, whenever my car guy and I we go through transactions and all, either a purchase of a car or him fixing something. You know, it's that part of your mind that you still have. It's like, dude, is this dude trying to get over me? It's like, did he purposely not sign the back? It's like, no, it was an honest mistake. So, because you are so anxious to get outcomes and get stuff dealt with, you are just always mindful. It's like, because you've been hurt before in previous transactions, so you are just wondering, like, yo, what is this? You know, so because in my mind, I wanted to get everything done so I can drive to church New Year's Eve. Why? Because I was going broke, relying on Lyft. Let me tell you this. Life is more expensive being broke. The money I spent on Lyft throughout 2019, I probably could have bought 2 cars. How long was I with Zipcar? I was with Zipcar for approximately 6 years. And before I ended that relationship because of the cash purchase of my first car, I tallied up how much I paid Zipcar. And it almost had me in tears. Why? Because I spent X amount of money, and I know what the figure is, and I gave it to this company to handle temporary needs. So after going through that, I'm just all in when it's about buying a car. Okay. So I couldn't get anything done. My car guy was in Jamaica, where he's from. Him and the family was taking a holiday there, so I had to wait for him to get back in town. So, you know, excruciating experience. So I catch a lift to the church New Year's Eve, and church people on New Year's Eve is like, I don't understand it. I honestly don't. I don't get it. Maybe somebody can explain it to me later. I don't know. Church people on New Year's Eve is just, I don't know. It's because I think our people believe in magic so much. I like the way Dr. Miles Monroe explained it. When it comes to a New Year's Eve service, we are so looking forward to a brand new year and new opportunity, and the Lord is going to bless us and everything. We are going on to level up and all this other stuff. Your life goes at the speed of your thoughts. Your life goes at the speed of your thoughts. Okay? When the Godfather did a sermon years ago at the Potter's house, and he was preaching about the power of a changed mind. Oh my goodness. We are talking about a work of art. We are talking about a work of art. He was like, this is not about magic. This is about you being a responsible adult, and you are in control of having a changed mind about what you believe and what you choose to believe and what you choose to learn about and all this other stuff. That is up to you. It's because you don't have to wait until January 1st to have a new year. You can have a new year the moment you change your mind about something. Listen, we ain't grow up being taught stuff like that. So when we hear stuff like that, it's like, yo. Here's the scary thing is, when you're hearing teaching like that for the very first time and you've been in church your whole life, that's so scary. Why is it so scary? It's so scary because think about all the stuff you're not being taught. I mean, like practical stuff. Like, you know, faith-based but yet practical stuff. And it's like, this is scary. This is so scary. This is so scary. So you quickly learn that this is about how fast can you learn new stuff so you can benefit from it. There is a passage of scripture in the Bible about learning from the truth that you know. The truth that you know. Like you can't benefit from something you don't know. You can't do it. You can't benefit from anything you don't know. So if we're talking about my life can change at the speed of me knowing something, let me learn more. Let me learn faster. Let me learn quicker. Let me take my learning to a higher intensity. Why? Because my life is about outcomes. So, New Year's Eve service, everybody giddy, doing chest bumps and all this other stuff. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is it? I don't understand. What is it? What is it? I don't get it. What is it? It's so frustrating. It's like everybody is so tickled by stuff that don't even move you, and it's like, I just want to understand. And actually, to those who don't understand, that's a very lonely feeling. My pastor thinks he's way more interesting than what he really is. No, he's as a speaker, he's not an interesting guy. He is not an interesting guy. let me tell you just how interesting, how powerful that is. Because I learned that from Dave Chappelle. He was telling he was talking to another comedian, and he was like, "Yo, look, everybody's funny, but everybody isn't interesting. It's your job to be interesting. My pastor's not interesting to me at all." When he said that stuff will mean X, Y, and Z to me. To everybody else, it's like Jesus just walked on water, and I don't understand that. And it's a very lonely feeling. It's a very lonely feeling. So, they do New Year's Eve. Everyone's jumping around and everything. Okay, fine. And alright, cool. After service, I do my regular thing. I speak to some folks, whatever, blah blah blah. That's fine. That is cool. So the crew was like the year before. The crew was going out to the diner for fellowship afterwards, and they were asking me like are you going? I was like no, I'm not going to do that. The reason why I didn't go this year is because I wasn't driving. Okay, I would. And the thing about that is I do not want to be under somebody. When you're a pastor in somebody else's car, number one, I don't even want other people to know I'm not driving. Sorry, that's just a pride thing I got from my mother. Okay, if she was lacking something, she did not want you to know. She did not want you to know, and that's fine. So when she did reveal that she needed help with something which was rare, that was huge for her to break down and say, hey, would you mind helping me with X, Y, and Z? So oddly enough, I'm the same way. So now I only talk to folks that I trusted, folks that knew how to not be so talkative. So we're doing all of that fine. So while everybody was heading over to the diner, I didn't realize that I was in for a long wait because all the Lyft drivers were dealing with New Year's Eve folks going to parties and clubs and everything. So my Lyft driver didn't come to me till about almost 1 a.m. I was at the church, and it's like, so I was like, should I go to the Regal Beagle? Man, I'm tired. I'll just head home, man. So I head home. Everything's cool. Okay, fine. So here we are. January, New Year. So one of the things that took place was that I never talked about was I had a dispute with a young lady at the church. It didn't mean anything to me. We're not on the wrong. We're not on the same page. That means nothing to me. what you think, how you feel. That doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, so all right, we wasn't on the same page. Okay, fine, whatever. Move on. So it's 2020, January 2020. I was like, okay, you know, maybe I was kind of harsh that didn't, go as smooth as it could have been. So okay, fine. So what happened was I was way more open to, speaking to her, saying hello, whatever. Yo, yo, it's difficult for me to talk about, y'all. Difficult for me to talk about. So mm, we move on. So this is tough because she went to one of the brothers in the church who was served, and he approached me and he said, "I need to talk to you." I was like, "Me?" And he said, "Yes." Okay. So when I turn the corner, I see her standing there with an officer. And I'm like, what is this about? So what the brother said to me was, he says, "Look, I understand y'all went out a couple of times. It didn't end well. You need to leave her alone." I was like, what? I need to leave her alone? Because she came out her mouth and said I was stalking her. Y'all, that's how 2020 started for me. Because she said I was stalking her. I've never been so offended in my life. Like, you have lost your mind. When have I ever approached you? And then if I have, it has been in church to say hello. Not knowing that she have controlled that narrative and made it seem like I've been watching her. It's, oh my God. That was so egregious. That was so egregious. That shut me down for the next few days. Like, I was crying that afternoon. Like, shortly after, like, you are kidding me. You are kidding me. Not knowing until later this year. This is a common thing. Not with her individually, but this is how black women see men. Because they think nothing of you. The moment things don't go right, or the way they want it to, they will create a narrative about you and just have everything just add on and pile on. And it's like, it would not even cross my mind to say that about another human being. Publicly. I told my good friend at church, and I was like, you won't believe what just happened. So I explained the situation to him, and he was like, "This is a really young girl, isn't it?" And I was like, "No, she's older than me. She think I want her. She think I want her." He was like, "Oh wow." I was like, "Yes, exactly." That situation was so bad. One of my friends, other friends, can tell something has happened. She just walked over to me and just hugged me and didn't ask any questions. Like, I can tell when you're bothered by something, and this is one of those times. So she just hugged me, and like we never really talked anymore this year because of COVID. I get home. I was like, "Yo, let me go to my cousin's house to watch the game." I didn't have enough gas. Didn't have enough money for gas. so I was like, this is probably for the best. I just came into my apartment and just laid on the floor and just cried. I didn't have anyone to talk to, and then I called my aunt. I was like, "Hey, you won't believe what just happened to me today." She was like, "What?" Somebody approached me from the church and accused me of stalking this young lady I used to hang out with. She was like, "What?" I was like, "Yes." Like, what's your definition of stalking? I have never approached you out in public. The only time I have approached you is in church, and that is to only say hello. Had I known, oh my God, man, oh my God. I just said earlier that I had no idea growing up just how gullible. See, because I'm a good person with a big heart, not knowing that people can change a narrative around you, use that stuff against you, big time. So I told my aunt, I was like, I hate these people so much. Speaking of my church, because it been situations not like that, but just very personal situations that has been happening over the last 4 years. It's like, yo, I don't even know why I'm here, man. Honestly, I can't. Everybody here everybody just gets on my nerves so bad. So my aunt was like, I know, but listen to what I'm gonna say to you. You need to talk to somebody at the church, because you can't let it slide. And I was like, I don't want to, because so I called one of the reverends that I'm close to after just speaking to her at the church, and she was so surprised to hear from me, especially after just getting on me about not reaching out to her more consistently. So I explained the situation to her, and she was shocked. She was like, "Who is this young lady?" I told her her name. I told her that the church just promoted her to a director of a brand new ministry and all this other stuff. She was like, let me reach out to somebody and have them call you, because we need to get this fixed. And again, as I said earlier, it's like you're just not used to people sticking up to you, but it's like, you gotta be kidding me. Because when I was confronted, the guy who approached me said, "Look, we're only trying to protect our women here." Wait, what? You're only trying to protect your women here? And as he's saying this, it's two officers standing on the side with a third and fourth one behind the wall where we were standing. And I'm absorbing all this like, you are kidding me. You are kidding me? So I get to work on Monday and I'm sitting at my desk. I got my assigned work and everything, and I just could not work. I'm sitting at my desk and I just could not work. I mean, I can't concentrate. I'm just I'm just stunned. I'm just stunned. I mean, the kind of stunned where you're sitting at your church, you're sitting in your chair at work and you're not working. You can't concentrate. You can't move forward. So I get up and I go into my supervisor's office and I talk to her. And before I can say what was on my mind, I was just sitting in her office crying. I've never been so offended in my life. This woman told other people that I was stalking her across the church sanctuary. A church sanctuary. Are you kidding me? You think so highly of yourself, I'm going to stalk you across a church with 4,000 other people? Are you kidding me? I explained the situation to my supervisor, and she was stunned because next to my family, she has probably known me the longest because I've been at my job so long. She was like, look, we both know none of that is true. Okay, that's what we are going to focus on. She said she felt so bad for me. I mean, I'm like coming in and out of her office all week long because I just feel so bad. But this was the beginning of a wake-up call to where I am right now. It's because I had no idea the diminished value of the black male image in the eyes of the black woman. No, I had no idea. I had no idea. This Me Too movement was used to satisfy the woman. No. People who have been harassed and all this, if you have police reports or written documents and everything, fine. Go ahead, proceed to battle that out. But just off of hearsay, you're messing up somebody's life. You're messing up somebody's life because you don't like them anymore. You're messing up somebody's life. What was tremendously helpful was my supervisor told me a very interesting story that she went through with her son. I won't go into that, but it was very encouraging to me to let you know. She said, look, I am so afraid for y'all. Yes. Older black woman telling me, I'm afraid for you. Because my son just went through something similar to this. Because anybody can say anything and it can cost you your life. Your life, your reputation, your livelihood. It can happen. And I mean, y'all, my world is shaking because this was just so stunning. This was just so stunning. Because you think people see you the way you see yourself. That is not at all true. That's not even close to being true. You can influence someone's thinking to make them think that they ought to see you the way you see yourself. Me, I see myself as a high respectable, upstanding person. Okay? That does not mean at all I don't have flaws, because I do. So because I project that, you think other people? No. I had no idea that even though I just told my therapist this, trying to see if there's any romantic interest or whatever over these past 4 years was like getting fired from work every 9 months. That's what it was like. This is how the Lord blesses you. This is how the Lord blesses you. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is how the Lord blesses you. He blesses you because He warns you about stuff. I first saw the videos from Rebecca Lynn Pope, the former matchmaker. When she did her video about the woman's expectations is unrealistic. When I first saw that video, it had maybe a few 100,000 views. Every time I see that video pass by on YouTube, it's over 1 million, 1.5 million views. Why? Because you have a beautiful black woman who was a professional matchmaker tell us the truth on how black women are. Black women are unrealistic. They don't understand how to rate themselves. Therefore, in their expectations, they expect the man to be like this while they are like this. But they want you to be like this. Y'all. This is when the Lord began to change my life, to break me out of this naivete that I have, that, you know, just be a good person. The way you feel about racism, that's how I feel about the black woman, because of countless experiences that have made me so uncomfortable in my life. Countless experiences. Why? Because I'm always around black women. It's very uncomfortable now. It's very uncomfortable. Later into my year. My supervisor told me she felt so bad for me. She almost called me that night to check on me. Because let me tell you, I was feeling horrible. I was feeling horrible. I was feeling horrible. I was feeling horrible. Like, this is a joke, right? And the more I think about it, not just that instance, just every other encounter I have had, it's like, wait a minute. Why did that happen? Why did this happen? So the young lady was a part of the ministry that I serve in. Not knowing, because she got promoted, she has moved on. I'm not knowing. I guess everybody else knew that. I didn't know that. So I'm driving to the ministry meeting, and I'm like, yo, I just hate everybody in there, man. I'm just saying how I actually feel for a change. I just hate everybody in there, man. Even my friends, I just hate everybody in there, man. It's because when you're dealing with church, you are grossly outnumbered by 80%. So when one woman has a problem with you, because of my experience in my first church, when one woman has In my first church, when I bought my college girlfriend, and she later joined the church, which was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made. When she joined the church, she would go and tell our personal stuff to the women in the church. So you can tell when someone was upset with you by their little remarks, the songs, and their testimonies, because that's what women do. When they're upset with you, they send signals. And because you're a man and you're a captive audience, like, yo, I don't have to deal with this measly ministry and these measly people. I don't have to deal with this. This is why men don't go to church. Duh. There are 4 reasons why men go to a church. Number 1, they're a part of it. Hello. They're a part of it. Number 2, they're married. Number 3, if they have a questionable sexual orientation. That explains the thousands of feminine dudes that's all in the choir, and everybody hugged up on each other, and then everyone got sugar in their voice and all this nonsense. It's like, for real, single men really don't go to church like that. Why? Because it's not for them. It's not for them. It's not for them. No. It's for a middle-aged married man, or if you're a part of the ministry and you have a budding career there somehow, even ministry, music, whatever, communications, whatever. But like, for real, like, guys like me really don't go to church like that. No. But let me tell you, while all this was going on, I never missed anything. I never missed anything. Why? Because I still believe in what God says. Forsake not the assembly of yourselves. I still believe him. If they're assembling, you need to be there. Because this is what I require of you. If you don't do it there, you need to do it somewhere else. But you need to be submitted to somebody. I believe that. That's it. I understand why men don't go to a church. Why? Because it is a woman's club. Even if you have a male pastor, the church is still 80% women. So you have to say things that cater to your dominant audience. I'm getting ready to go to the meeting, and I was saying something to my supervisor. I was like, I feel like I need to have someone who represents me. She was like, what do you mean? It's like a lawyer. I need someone to represent me. They had the cops on standby for me. They had security on standby for me. I'm offended by that. I need someone other than me to represent me. So I'm on the bus, and then one person comes to mind, someone who I haven't really talked to in a couple years, but I forgot that she had her own law firm. She's not just an attorney, she has her own law firm. I text her and I was like, hey, how are you? Can we talk? She said, sure, give me a few minutes. I just got in, I'll call you and everything. So I'm driving, I have her on speaker. We are talking it out, whatever. And she lays out a plan for me. Okay. All right. She found it very alarming that it's no one at the church that I trust. Technically it is, but look, man. When a man is not into church, he's just going through the motions. Why? Because he's going to feel like he's losing, which I often feel that way with church. I feel like I'm always losing, but I'm still stupid to still be going to church and still be the guys who seem to be doing well. They seem very different to me. Like, yo, that's some beta male stuff that you're doing right now, and that is how it is. That is how it is. It's like they're cool with you as long as you do whatever they say. I'm not like that. Obviously, have you met me before? I'm not like that. So go to the ministry meeting, the same nonsense. Because everyone is gathering ideas, and the guy who's in charge, what wasn't there? He was in class with something else. So I got all this going on my heart, and still giving a response for our team and everything. Dog, I hate everything about this, man. So after the meeting, I tell the director, who is good friends with the young lady. I was like, so I'm assuming you heard what happened to me on Sunday, and she was like, mm-hmm, because that's how women do. Yes. Next time you do something, girl, call security. Mm-hmm. Yep. I said to her, they accused me of stalking. And her point to me was, in this Me Too movement, the mere fact that you kept trying to intimidate her? Intimidate? Are you kidding me? Intimidate. Y'all have 4 officers waiting for me, and I'm intimidating someone? Ooh. So she said her piece. I said to her, I was like, just because you say that does not make it right. What happened here is unacceptable. And she says to me, she was like, what are you trying to do in all this? I mean, that's how she was talking to me. The director of the ministry that I'm in. What is it you are trying to accomplish here? I was like, I want mediation. Someone that I trust. So it can't be you because you're her friend. Y'all, I'm just so angry right now because I wanted to do this video and I wanted to go over the highs and lows because it's important for other people to hear this. Notice I'm not giving names, okay? Because it's important for people to hear this. It's because had I understood that this was a common thing among our community, so being a gentleman, after that discussion, I said, hey, I'll still walk you to your car. So we're walking out, and she says to me, so how's work? I was like, work is fine. She was just like, what do you do? I said work is fine, but work is getting on my nerves. She said, excuse me. She said, what do you do? I told her, and she and like as church people do, they like to shift into that summer camp counselor mode. So what is it you want to do in life? I was like, look, after the conversation we just had, we're not having this discussion. We're not doing this, okay? Because you are just, that's how church people do, man. To them, you are only a soul to be saved, a life that needs to get right, but you're not a person to them. You're not a person. You're a project to them. Why do we do that? It's because we learned Christianity from our slave master. What does that mean? It means simply this. You're good enough to be saved by Jesus and to be saved by me on my terms. That's what it means. We mishandled the same people that we were here to save. We mishandled them. So after that, she was like, okay, I will, talk to you later. I was like, okay, fine, cool, whatever. After I got in the car, I just felt more powerful. Why? Because it's power in confrontation, confronting people that say things about you. It's some power in that. Because they don't think much of you to begin with. They don't think much of you to begin with. But to know that you're willing to stand up for yourself, even though you got all this sisterhood support behind you, this is what needs to change in 2021. We need the black man to speak up for himself. We have, for the last 3 generations, we have did and said whatever that needed to be done to keep the peace. Listen, fellas, this is no longer about keeping the peace. This is no longer about keeping the peace. Why? Because you're living in hell. You're being treated like dirt. You are saying things differently because you don't want to get her upset. You living in hell. And then 80% of divorces are filed by the woman. Is like, you're the terror. I was thinking about this. Dating back to the caller who would call Kevin Samuel's show and said that her husband divorced her. Listen to what Kevin said to her. He said, wait a minute, your husband divorced you? He served the papers to you? She said, yeah. He said, do you know how obnoxious you have to be for a man to divorce his wife? I say that because I have a friend where her husband divorced her, and like I didn't think too much of it, but after hearing this, it's like, okay, do you know how obnoxious you have to be for your husband to want to leave you? To leave you when 8 out of 10 chances the woman leaves the man? A man will stay in hell as long as the family can remain intact. We work jobs that we hate only for us to maintain a better life for someone else. or if you are single, to maintain a life until you have a bridge endeavor. Because men is not about jumping around from job to job or to a job. He's not about that. The man is about, and I'm not saying it's right, but he's about consistency. He is about paying the cost, or what it takes to get what he wants in life. But just to be jumping around just because, nah, that ain't him. That's not him. No, no, no. So women speaking cold about that by saying he's not ambitious enough. That means he's not making enough money. Well, because everyone knows, especially the woman, that you get a higher salary by promotions, not by raises. Your salary increases ate up through taxes. Okay, you don't know. You know promotions, going to different companies, different firms, different agencies. That's how you pile up that salary. The man is not willing to do that. Why? Because he always feels like he's going to fall into a trap. What is a trap to a man? When he's doing something that he's not happy with and he's under somebody else's control. That's a trap to a man. That's a trap to a man. Say, no, I'm good. I'd rather stay right here. That's how he feels. I'm not saying it's right, but that's how he feels. One of my videos, please watch. Why is it black men afraid to develop himself? Please watch us that video. I go through it in great detail.
This is Coach Dave Watson. Watch Eagles versus Cowboys Sunday on Fox with YouTube TV. Try it.
The next morning, I get a call from the head of security from the church. Someone I've been trying to get in contact with all week, because I need to speak to a professional. I don't want to talk to any pastors. We're done with for the theology stuff. No, I want to talk to a professional, someone who has a name and a title. I explained the situation to him. His thing was because my attorney friend was like, this is what you need to do. If you called the church for a certain department and you have not gotten an answer back, you need to do an email and CC everybody who's involved until someone calls you back. It's because to them, the way you feel means nothing to them. It means absolutely nothing to them. You need to bring the fight to them. And I was like, okay. I put an email together. It was not the greatest email, but I got my point across. In so much, I got a phone call 7 a.m. the next morning. And once I saw it was from the chief of security, I was like, yeah. I will call him back when I'm settled at work. Yeah, they're ready to talk when it is when they're ready to get stuff squared away. So later in the day, we have a conversation and we talk through everything. And he makes it clear to me a lot of protocols was broken. How you were handled in that situation. And I was like, thank you for saying that. He said, I'm going to meet with the ministry leader that brother involved himself in, because the girl and him were friends. He said, I know who he answers to. I'm going to go to their meeting and properly walk through the protocols on what needs to be done when anything like this comes up, because what happened should not have happened. It sent the wrong message, and it was overly aggressive. I was like, I asked him one question. I was like, let me ask you something. If you were in my shoes, do you think I overreacted? He said, I think you handled this great. If you didn't know anything that it was happening, because the girl kept saying, we have you on videotape of you stalking me. I was like, videotape? What are you talking about? This chick is crazy. You got videotape of me in the sanctuary with 4,000 other people? Let me tell you, I still have that message from him when he called me. Let me tell you, the peace of God came over me when that got resolved. The peace of God came over me. It's because we also made sure she did not file some kind of stalker claim in PG County. Like, yo, chicks are crazy these days. They always think somebody want them. They always think someone is abusing them or someone wants them. They're always thinking that. Let me tell you, when that situation was over, it was over because I never brought it up until tonight. Why? Because I'm reviewing my 2020. I'm giving someone the opportunity to understand how things can go off the rails very quickly. Very quickly. If you're like me, you couldn't harm a fly. But the things can go off the rails very quickly in this age. And you need to know that. And you need to know that. My 2020, there was a young lady I've been crushing on for the past, I don't know, 2 years. Sorry, 2 years, 3 years. That is the third year. I was crushing on. I mean, in my mind, she had the looks, she had the body, she had the career, she had, yo. In my mind, the only thing she was missing was me. But here's the thing. This is why we need more men to talk. And this is why I part of the reason why I do these videos. Is because I had no idea this woman thought she was better than me. I had no idea. I thought nah. Nah. In her eyes, I was beneath her. She never said it, but the woman is never going to say it. But she would think it and conduct herself otherwise. But she won't say it. No. Women don't talk that straightly. They speak in code. They speak in code. I invited her to go to my cousin's concert. I went the previous 2 years. I wanted her to share in that, you know, really cool experience. Eric and Carlisle, they knew, they was like, they didn't say it, but yeah, they knew Shorty was bad. Oh yeah. They didn't say it, but yeah, they knew Shorty was bad. But yeah, when they were talking to her, they was fully engaged. Like, I was like, look, I don't think you ought to do that. Not fully understanding is because she has a very masculine energy about herself, and I don't know if she's aware of it. But I was like, I don't think. But that was an amazing night. We went out to dinner afterwards and everything. The concert to be expected, and waited to talk to Eric afterwards, and family, and his father and my father are cousins, so we didn't get to my spot till like almost 1 a.m. You know, so about midnight, 1 a.m. And like that night, it was freezing cold. I mean, the wind was gusting like 15 miles per hour, something along those lines. And I really thought that this was like a stepping stone for us to get closer, is because I wanted to be with her, because we had been friends the previous 2 years. I'm talking about, we were on the phone. Us talking on the phone for hours at a time, it's like nothing. But that's what I'm saying. I didn't know that men look at women different from women look at men. Men look at women as a potential romantic interest, a potential sexual partner, whatever. Women look at men totally different. One of the ways women look at men as a possible friend. As a possible friend. We don't, look, I don't need to go through all this just to be your friend if it doesn't lead to anything else. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. You have so much non-sexual attention from me that it's painful. But I had no idea. This is why it's up to you to learn as much as you can about everything. It's up to you. Because whatever you don't know, that's where you're struggling. I'll say it again. Wherever you're struggling, that is about things you don't know about. That's why it's such a big deal. That is why it is such a big deal to you. Because again, I'm gullible. I never saw myself as a gullible individual. Never. I never did. But when I look back, to these last 4 years that I've been involved at my church and dealing with, exposed to many different young ladies and everything, and everything that comes along with that, like, yo, I really am gullible, because I just believed in, if you have a good heart and all that other, no. You can expect to be stopped by the police and have a good heart and all this other stuff, and approach things in a good faith. You will still get your tail beat if you come across the wrong cop. That will still happen. I think the next day she wanted to go to the movies, and I overslept because when she wanted to go to the 8 a.m. service, and then even then she didn't ask me if I wanted to go. She sent the text by saying, I'm going at the 8 a.m. service. That was my cue for me to jump in and say, hey, why don't we? Because she wasn't going to ask. Why was she not going to ask? It's because in her mind she's too good for that. Listen, you cannot deal with a woman that thinks she's better than you. You can't. Your life will be hell if you're dealing with a woman who thinks she's better than you. Because in her mind, dealing with you is settling. She doesn't think you dealing with her is settling for you. She doesn't think that. No. No. And these are the things that we are not taught. These are the things we don't know. These are the things that we don't know because our fathers didn't know. And they don't talk to us. So we have this perpetual generation of failure trying to connect with the black woman. Even when you connect with the black woman, she has an 80% chance of her leaving you and taking half your stuff. Are you kidding me? Who is the ambitious one now? Oh, y'all. So it was so bad that I felt, just when I felt like we were getting closer, we weren't. Because I was optional to her. So here we go. She starts a new job. All this other stuff. She's not trying to be, but she easily ends up being the hot girl. The hot girl at the new job that has a top executive position and all this other stuff. Yeah. I just meant nothing to her. And I didn't realize it. And I didn't realize it at all. Yeah. So next we have All-Star Weekend. Oh, I'm sorry. The death of Kobe Bryant, which is trivia thing. My tribute to King and Princess Mamba, it was my first ever video. My first ever video on February 1st, 2020. It was my first ever video. Was a tribute of me doing a video to Kobe. Kobe's death affected me so much, as it did millions of others. I do not remember being so saddened by a death. Why? Because Kobe was the absolute best of us. Kobe was the absolute best of us. But let me, I hope you don't see this as being petty, is because I said the same thing when Michael Jackson died. Our people had disowned Michael Jackson years before he died. Our people disowned him years before he died. No. When Michael Jackson died, the black community reclaimed him. Oh, dancing on the wall. I mean, all this stuff. No. When Michael Jackson won the lawsuit about all those child molestation, when he kept winning those lawsuits, black people were just done with him. Like he didn't exist. No. When we refer to Michael, we will only refer to Michael as from the Jackson 5. All this freaky adult Michael and having boys in the bed with him and all this stuff. No, 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 no. We will love his music, but we hate him. When Michael Jackson died, let me tell you, people thought that Christ was being crucified all over again. It was crazy. You need to know that people will switch up on you really quickly. You need to know that. I'm saying this is because they felt the same about Kobe Bryant. How? Easy. When Kobe did not marry a black woman, he was dead to them. He was dead to them. See, and he did not get a unattractive white woman. He got a very cute Hispanic girl who loved him through thick and thin. She gave him the love of a black woman. Kevin Samuel says black women think that white women are their rival. No. Latina women are black women's rival. Why? It's because they have the spice, they have the sass, and they have the bodies. But yet, they can keep these relationships. Latina women, along with other races, are swooping in and gathering up black men. Kobe knew early on, this is the one. This is the one. And Vanessa knew, whatever it is, I'm not losing this man. See, to a black woman, it's more like, can I do better? I probably can. And then she gets into the danger zone. The danger zone is from the ages of 27 to 35. After 35, you're in no man's land in terms of getting a spouse. Okay, for a woman, the rules are different for a woman than it is a man, because men really aren't getting what it is that they want marrying a 40-50-year-old woman. No. No. You don't get what it is you think you're getting in doing that. That's not happening. No. Black women think they own a monopoly on sex. No. you don't. You don't. You really don't. Not true. I was on my way to my cousin's house, and my friend at the time called me, and I saw her number show up on my phone, and I was like, what's happening? So I put her on speaker as I'm driving. I'm like, yeah, hey, what's going on? She was like, did you hear? I was like, hear what? Kobe Bryant is dead. Like, as I was driving, I was trying to process that. When she got the news alert on her phone, and she said, I need to call Brian. She was in the movies with her husband, and she said, I need to call Brian. I became a tremendous Kobe Bryant fan after he retired. What changed is because I had no idea the amount of wisdom that he has obtained from his thirst for knowledge. I had no idea. I would listen to 2-hour interviews with him just talking, and I'm like, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. I was never a Laker fan and still not. I have Laker stuff because, with me, as you can see in all my videos, it's about the color scheme. But I'm watching. I'm trying to process this. I get to my cousin's house, and he was like, "Did you hear?" I was like, "Yeah, my friend called me." It's like, yo. So we're processing this. We're watching the news. All this, y'all. I mean, I want you to understand. Kobe had been dead for like a month, and I was still crying about it. Why? Because he was the best of us. He was the best of us. The way he died made black women so sad. Because he was the father that most of them never had. But keep in mind, they hated him because he married a non-black woman. Let's fast forward to All-Star Weekend, one of the greatest All-Star games we ever seen, because they had the pickup game element to it. It was like phenomenal. I mean, it was very Chicago centric, and that's fine, because the All-Star game haven't been to Chicago in like 25, 30 years. So I get it. They had Obama and Common and I mean, Jennifer Hudson singing the tribute to Kobe. I mean, that was special, y'all. That was special. That was special, y'all. I mean, it was in Chicago, but it was still. Chance the Rapper, he did a phenomenal. Common did an excellent job. I mean, that was just amazing. The Super Bowl week was totally ruined because not everyone. No one cared about Super Bowl week. It's because Kobe died that Sunday, and that was the week leading into the Super Bowl. It was the same night of the Grammys. And Alicia Keys was at State. It was held at Staples Center, and they found out just like we did. I heard Dave Chappelle was like, yeah, the moment he found out, he left the Grammys. It's like, yeah, because why? Because Kobe was he was one of the best of us. He actually had the discipline to carry out what was in his mind, and that separated him from everybody else. And he made fun of all those who didn't do their 100% best. He held himself. He was obsessed with excellence. He was so obsessed with excellence that even Jordan had to give in to talking to him. That was just nuts. That was just nuts. Coronavirus. I came down with something in February. Before this was just about to hit mainstream. I came down with something. I had cold. I had shivers for like 2 days. I was at work. I was at coughing. I never told this story. I was at work. I was coughing. My coworker said to me, "Hey, Brian, I noticed you have been coughing." I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You may want to get that taken care of, because the way everything is looking, I think this is about to be something serious." We're referring to the coronavirus. So I took my famous remedy, Tylenol liquid medicine. Knock you straight out until you are 100% healed. I did that, and everything was. I was fine like the next day. We're in March. Coronavirus is a big deal. But we didn't take it serious until Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert got tested positive, and the way he was, contaminating his teammates, namely Donovan Mitchell, and touching everything just. I was telling my supervisor, I was telling Olivia Pope, because that is my nickname for her. She hates it, but it is what it is. I was telling them I felt like the NBA was not doing enough by preparing people for what's happening, because it was spreading throughout the country, but it hasn't hit mainstream yet. When it hit Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, I think that is her last name. It hit Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson maybe a day before Rudy Gobert got it. And that's when all the black people was like, yo, this is real. When Rudy Gobert got it, I was stunned. Rudy has never been more famous. A two-time defensive player of the year, all-star participant, all these other things. No one really knew who he was because he was also playing in Utah. So he had no idea who he was until he tested positive. The night the NBA shut down, it shocked the world. It shocked the world. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is nuts. Yeah. What was crazy for me was when the job was sending out emails like, yo, we may have to start working at home. Like, what? Like, that was already a thing among other jobs and industries. Like, yo, we may have to work remotely. And me being a person who did not want to work from home, I didn't want to work from home is because I knew what comes along with it. When you're at the office, the moment you're done, you have to log off and go home. When you have the job at your residence, it's a little different. My whole concern was I did not want to be working harder at home because my computer, I didn't want to do that. It got so bad, and this thing was catching on so fast. My supervisor kept hinting it to me like, yo, you may want to get into this. It's because the metro and everyone's taking precautions. So I was like, all right. I put in for internet service, and yeah, I needed. It wasn't going to be installed until like the Friday after an entire work week. So even then, I was going into the office working. The only one there, but hey, I enjoyed it. It's because the building was empty basically, and just see things fall apart. I mean, the food places in our building was shutting down. Buffets were shutting down. It's like stuff that we have never seen before. My friend at the time was calling me, texting me to check on me. Is because she said she was shocked. One, that's how arrogant she is at times. She says, I'm still surprised your job isn't working from home. I was like, for the 100th time, they are working from home. I'm just the one who's not, because I don't want to work from home. So that was still going on, and yeah, when I ordered internet service and started work from home, we was in the month of March and working on our busiest month. And like it was like crazy busy, is because our busy month only lasts for a month. This year, and when COVID hit, it lasted for like 10 weeks. Our busy month was what was like 2.5 months. So I mean, that was just crazy. So we had all of that going on. The NFL was watching all this, and they're like, you know, you don't have anything to worry about because all of this will be over by the time NFL season starts. We have April going on, much of the same, and like that's what it got down to. It's like everything just shut down, y'all. Seeing the internet, I've never seen the internet like that before because everything shut down. You never been a time in history when you turned on YouTube in this recent history and there's zero content being made. Zero. Watching snippets of Fallon and Colbert try to do a show in an empty studio. It's like, yo, y'all really are not funny. You know, it's like you give so much credit to like the audience to clap and like the clap track and all this other stuff. It's like, y'all are really not funny. I mean, and Seth Meyers filming from his attic and all this other stuff, and I'm like, yo, what is really happening? This is crazy. So April, much of the same, just a lot of late hours and working and trying to keep up and all this other stuff. Trying to learn to work from home. That in itself was tough. May, you have all this going on, but you want to fast forward to George Floyd. Y'all. To see that develop into what it turned into, that was insane. And just a lot of the same for like 4 months. One of the good things was the NBA starting back up in the bubble. It's because sports have never been so important. For sports to stop at a halt in March and they develop a bubble in August and see basketball played at its highest level because they're arrested, there's no travel time, all this other stuff, blah blah blah. Much like you working from home, instead of getting on the metro, going to work and all this other stuff, you have this, the Portland Trail Blazers, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. The Portland Trail Blazers. That was inspiring to watch. That was inspiring, and boy, we believed that they were gonna knock off the Lakers. No. No, not happening. Restaurants opening back up at 50% capacity. Right, restaurants having outside dining. September, football. Y'all, I can't remember a year where football was so important. It's because we're all stuffed at home. We're all dealing with stuff. And whatever to remind us of any normalcy, that was amazing. So the football, just week by week breakdown analysis, 6 days a week, and then that seventh day, the actual games. College football, that was rough. It's because only the ACC and the Big 12 and all of the cupcakes started off one time. That wasn't real college football. No. That became progressive when the Big 10. The SEC came later, then the Big 10, and then much later the Pac-12. When all five got back, then it felt like college football. Excuse me. But when teams were getting hit with COVID outbreaks, I mean, really bad. I mean, COVID outbreaks that stretched over states. When the Big 12 was hit real bad, and the SEC was hit real bad with COVID outbreaks, that was crazy, man. Being in October, man. Halloween, just normalcy. So yes, we have this going on, but we still have our sports. We still have, reduced indoor dining, just normalcy. Nothing was missing from my life other than being at work in the office and being at church in the sanctuary. But everything was just normalcy, and like things were really cool. November, good football. Thanksgiving was really cool. It's like, wow, were you with a lot of friends over? It's like, no. I filmed all day, and then after I got done, with which was about 7 p.m., I went into Maggiano's and ordered their Thanksgiving special. Just sat there like a king and ate to my heart's desire, and took a boatload of food home as leftovers. I was a little disappointed because the servers at the Regal Beagle had a Thanksgiving thing at one of their apartments, and they did invite me, and I was like, no, because by them, the majority of them being from out of town and didn't have family in town or whatever, they held something on their own, and I'm like, yo, they didn't invite me to that, so it's like, okay, cool. That's fine, but yeah, my Thanksgiving was really cool, and then the next day going out driving around to different malls, and just being out, being totally masked up, of course, but just being normal as much as possible. December 20th, my birthday, that was great. Let me tell you, my father and my good friend Pastor Hennett, for them to come and be with me those 1 and 2 days, that was major to me. It's because the staff there are so used to seeing me by myself. Now, before COVID, I would gladly bring folks with me, whatever. But during COVID, it's like, no, church people don't do COVID. No. They will stay in their house and wait for this to be over with 100%. But this was one of the most special, and all the love, old college buddies and everything all over the country, and loved ones, and texts and messages and posts and everything. And my 2 babies texting me, and they saw me on my birthday and everything. I mean, that was just major, man. I just gave her some love as well, as I appreciate it. And just here we are, December 25th. I started filming December 24th. Here it is, December 25th. And it's just like, I'm just so grateful. If there was ever a year for us to be grateful, it's this year. Because our country went from being on fire to our world being turned upside down. It's all connected, y'all. We got to stop treating things as isolated incidents. It's not. So, that's my 2020. What do you think? Yeah, that's my 2020. Yeah. So, all right. I will end it here. So, I just wanted to take this moment to do my year in a review. Very interesting, huh? So, yeah. All right, well, enjoy your holiday, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.